There's my ID. So for my country and culture project, I had the French Republic. Just some general facts about France. In 2021, year to date, France has been the 13th highest trade partner with the United States, and in 2020, France ranked 14th in trade with $19.9 billion in exports and $49.5 billion in imports. France's population is 67 million, which is the second highest in Europe behind Germany. The GDP of France in 2020 was an estimated $2.59 billion, which is the seventh highest in the world. France has an area of 248,573 square miles and is about 1.2 times smaller than Texas. It has a capitalist government, but it's not totally free market. They have what they called a dirigism, which is a mixed market, and they come in and help out failing markets and things of that nature. So there is some regulation to it. Some ethnic groups in France are 85% white, 10% North African, 3.3% Black, 1.7% Asian. In France, the only official language is French, but many speak English and German, among others. And the regional trade bloc is the EFTA, or the European Free Trade Association. Some appointment alert. Appointments are necessary. They should be planned a couple weeks in advance and confirmed a few days before their scheduled day. It's courteous to give your business card to the secretary so they can log your arrivals. Business meetings are typically from 11 to 3:30 p.m. And it's important to know that French people get 5 weeks of paid vacation, which means most things are closed in all of August and around big holidays like Easter and Christmas. And being a few minutes late is not a deal breaker, but you should try to show up on time. Some proper business attire. France is considered by most the fashion capital of the world. Many famous high-end fashion designers come from France, like Chanel or Dior, and they have things like the Paris Fashion Week. So it's held in high regard. Many French people make their first impression of you by the clothing that you're wearing, meaning that you should always make an effort to dress well. High-end accessories, necklaces, nice watches, things of those natures are well received there. Men should wear dark color formal suits, and women should wear business suits or formal dresses in soft colors. Both should avoid casual footwear. Again, always strive to dress as nice as possible. In conversation, it's polite to say bonjour when entering a business, and when leaving, you say au revoir. La bis is a common greeting, being an air kiss to both cheeks. Having good manners is held with high regard. Don't speak too loudly. Good conversation topics include food, cuisine, art, music, philosophy, and current events. And it's important to know that you need to be knowledgeable in what you're talking about, because many things and conversations can turn into a friendly debate quickly. And if you don't know what you're talking about, that's not a good look. Gift giving. Gift giving in France, in regards to business, is definitely not the norm, but it's not forbidden. So just know who you're dealing with if you decide to do that, and if they would appreciate that or not. Gifts for social events, however, are very much expected. After a social event, something like a dinner party, you should absolutely give someone a gift. Doesn't need to be too expensive. Just know the person that you're dealing with, and try to make it as personal as possible. And it's important to note that you should never include your business card with your gift. This is considered to be pushy and rude, and comes off as ingenuine. So never do that if you're going to give somebody a gift. In deal making, French people take negotiations extremely seriously. So don't plan to negotiate something over a dinner or a cup of coffee. Don't bring up outside manners such as family. It's very offensive. Answer to questions should be very precise in details. You want to come off like you know exactly what you're talking about and you're taking this very seriously, because negotiations can take an extremely long amount of time. And again, French people want to know you, they want to trust you, um, and then they want to believe that you know what you're doing and you're the best person for the job. Prosperous, entertaining. Business meals tend to be held at restaurants and not cafes. Cafes are thought to be too cheap and noisy. Food is an extremely big part of French culture. So a three-course meal is extremely common to have, a starter, an entree, and a dessert. Conversation over the meal tends to be about the food itself or the wine if you're having any. And it's important to note that if you're having business dealings, those should be held off towards the very end of the meal. Don't bring it up in the middle of the meal. Saying bon appetit should be said before eating, and in a group setting, never leave the table until the last person is finished eating. Public behavior. The initiation of a handshake should be left to you as left to the highest ranking official in the meeting. That is, unless you're dealing with a woman, so the initiative should be left up to her. Using someone's first name comes off as disrespectful. Always call them Mrs. or Mrs. and address them by their family name after that. And it's important to note that body language is very important. So sit with good posture, don't yawn, don't scratch. And if you have to blow your nose or sneeze, do so as quietly as possible, or if you can do so, leave the room to do it. Thank you.